Scott Penny. And I'm going to tell you a little story. 100 years ago, in 1919, the founder of Scouting, Lord Baden-Powell, now we call him Lord Baden-Powell because that's his title in England. Okay, he was a landowner. He was a general in the British Army. He fought in a war in Africa for the Brits. But 100 years ago, actually a little bit over 100 years ago, he started the Boy Scout movement. But 100 years ago, he said, well, the Boy Scouts need to have trained adult leaders. Okay? So he says, I'm going to put together this training program, and we're going to train leaders so that they can understand how to be scouts. Because at that time, now I'm gonna ask you guys. I'm gonna ask you right there. Does your mom and dad know how to be you? Do they know how to be you? Do they know? Are you sure about that? Moms and dads, do you know how to be a little 8-year-old or 6, 7-year-old boy? Right? It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've been a 6 or 7-year-old boy. Right? So Baden-Powell recognized that he had to have leaders trained to be like boys. So he started this training program. And in 1919, in a little park outside of London, England, he gathered the first group of adult scout leaders together, and he conducted a week-long training course. So, 18 months ago, a year and a half ago, I had the privilege of conducting that same course, not in England, but here in San Antonio at McGimsey Scout Park. Who's been there? Who's been to McGimsey Scout Park? I know you guys have been there. The pirate ship, fishing in the pond, stuff like that. Yeah, okay, see? So I was there for 6 days, 2 weekends, with Miss Jennifer and a bunch of other people, and we conducted that same leadership training course that Baden-Powell started 100 years ago. So come on up, Jennifer. So since then, Miss Jennifer has done a lot of work, because part of what she did as a result of that training was she developed what we call a ticket, but what it is really, it's 5 things that she wanted to do to make this pack better, right? So she developed 5 goals that she had to complete from 18 months ago in October until now, and she did that. She actually completed it a little while ago, but it's been a while getting everything, all those schedules combined and everything. So there was one guy that was there with her the whole way through, and Mr. Trevor Rosenberg. Trevor, if you want to come up. Trevor was Miss Jennifer's what we call a troop guide. Okay? And there was another person that was there with Jennifer that actually, I think, might have convinced her to go to the course. But Miss Shalene Lefgren, Miss Shalene, if you want to come up, because you're going to help us with this ceremony. So, we've gone through 2 weekends, 6 days of training, right? And all the while we were in this training, we were all wearing the same uniform. And if you notice that Miss Jennifer has got a neckerchief on, I'm going to ask Miss Shalene to take that neckerchief off right now and kind of hold it up. So this is a Troop 1 neckerchief. Every person that goes through the Wood Badge training course is a member of the Gilwell Troop 1. Okay? And this neckerchief in itself represents service. And if you go around and you will go to different Boy Scout events, you'll see a lot of people wearing that neckerchief. And that means that they're willing to serve the Boy Scouts. Okay? And as long as you're involved in scouting, now I'm going to tell you this right now, because anytime you are in a position of service, anytime you're doing a service project, Jennifer, you can wear that neckerchief and wear it proudly. Okay? But we're going to replace that neckerchief with another one here in a few minutes. So anyway, getting back to my story. Back in 1919, when Baden-Powell started the training course for adult leaders, he said, I have to come up with a way to recognize those leaders that went through this training. Now, remember I said Baden-Powell was a general in the British Army? And he served in Africa. And he fought in wars in Africa. And during his time in Africa, he met a Zulu chieftain by the name of Deni Zulu. And he obtained from Deni Zulu a necklace made out of wooden beads. Now, you look at this wooden bead, and I'm going to challenge you. Who knows what Google is? Everybody knows what Google is, right? I'm going to challenge you to go look up Deni Zulu's necklace on Google. Because if you look at Deni Zulu's necklace on Google, his necklace is made up of thousands of wooden beads that encompasses basically his whole body. Okay? So Baden-Powell, at the end of this course, says, I'm going to recognize these people that complete this training, and I'm going to give them each a bead from that necklace. So he took that necklace of Deni Zulu's, and he took a bead off for every participant in that first training course. And that's how the course got its name of Wood Badge. It's a wooden bead, right? Now, we recognize people that have completed the training with 2 wooden beads. Okay? So at this time, Trevor, would you be so kind as to place the 2 wooden beads around Jennifer's neck? And the next thing we have is a neckerchief. Notice we took off the green tartan neckerchief, and we're going to replace it with a taupe neckerchief. Taupe is a color, for those of you like me who have to have it explained. Taupe is a color. I don't know how to describe it, but it's taupe. So we have this neckerchief, but you'll notice that there's a little patch of this tartan, same as on the big neckerchief that we just took off. And that's significant too, because back in 1919, a man by the name of William McLaren, who was the Scottish Commissioner of Scouting, owned this property where Baden-Powell held that first training course, and it was called Gilwell Park. So Mr. McLaren deeded that piece of property to the Scouting Association to be forever used as an adult training center for scouts. So in honor of that, we wear a patch of Mr. McLaren's tartan. Who saw the movie Braveheart? Has anybody seen the movie Braveheart? You know, you've seen Scottish guys in kilts, and they have that plaid design. Well, that plaid design right here is the tartan. And that's the family tartan, the McLaren family tartan. So in order to honor Mr. McLaren, we wear a piece of his tartan. And everybody who completes the Wood Badge training course is an honorary member of the McLaren clan. So welcome to the clan, Miss Jennifer. And Miss Shalene, if you would place this around your neck and hand me the woggle while you do it. And there's one other piece of uniform that everybody that completes Wood Badge wears. And that's called a woggle. And if you look at this woggle, you know, it's a neckerchief slide. It's a Turk's head knot, a 2-stranded Turk's head knot. But if you look closely, you can't see the beginning or the end. It's an infinite knot, right? It's an infinite circle. Right? You know why they do that? Why we do that? Because your training as a scout never ends. Okay? Everything you do, you do to be better, you better yourself. So you constantly try to learn more and more every day. And you live up to the ideals of scouting every day. And those 12 points of the Scout Law, you try to live up to those every day. So the woggle, now in Britain, all scouts wear a woggle, but they're different colors. And the different colors represent different positions in their scouting organization. A dinner might wear a certain color woggle. In Boy Scouts, a senior patrol leader would wear another color woggle. A scoutmaster or a cub master would wear another color woggle. But one thing about Wood Badge, we all wear the same leather woggle. So, Celine, if you want to put the woggle on. And then, if you wanted to do a little twist, place the neckerchief through so the beads are always out front. And all those three things are the culmination of 18 months of Jennifer's hard work towards making this pack a better organization. But there's more. Because no job is done until the paperwork is finished. Right? We have a certificate for Miss Jennifer stating that the Boy Scouts of America presents to Jennifer De La Rosa the Wood Badge, her Wood Badge credentials, signifying, excuse me while I triple with my tongue, that she has completed all the requirements of the Wood Badge training. And it is my distinct pleasure to finally present you with your Wood Badge certificate, Jennifer. And I would be remiss if I didn't introduce Trevor Rosenberg, who happened to be Jennifer's troop guide and ticket counselor through this whole 18-month process. And I'm sure...
I was just going to say, like, you guys are organizing dens, right? You do everything as a den, right? They did everything as a patrol. And so two of her patrol members, Robert and Charles, are here. So they got to come up real quick. And they get to present one more thing to her. Because it's been the moving thing as they get their beads.
Now you get to carry it to the next one.
Oh.
That was their patrol flag. So the Eager Beavers.
AKA the Racket Patrol.
So again, congratulations, Jennifer, Robert, and Charles. Thank you guys. Can we get a picture over here on the side?